Coming up on World's Greenest Homes. In Toronto, transforming an abandoned industrial building into a stunning green family home.
This is the shower, right here.
Shower room.
The kids must just love this.
They have a lot of fun.
And in New York State, a mountain retreat with its own natural style.
Any of the trees that were felled, and there weren't many, we were pretty careful about it. We try to use either for heating the house or for furniture.
I'm Emmanuel Beliveau. Come with me on World's Greenest Homes and see the most extraordinary homes on the planet. Homes that are gorgeous, cool, and green.
This may seem an unusual place to raise a young family and to go green, but I'm about to meet some homeowners who did just that. They took a bunker-like concrete warehouse and turned it into a modern family home.
We're in Toronto, the 5th largest city in North America. This is the Junction in Toronto's West End, a neighborhood that gets its name from its location, near the junction of 4 railway lines. It's an old industrial area that's seeing new life as a hip place to live.
Green doesn't necessarily mean just green roofs and capturing rainwater. There's pockets of land all over the city that are just waiting for adaptive reuse.
And talk about adaptive reuse. What was once an unused cinder block warehouse is now this amazing one-of-a-kind home. Even more impressive, the couple retained as much of the original structure and material as they could. It was 6 years in the making, but now, architects and designers Christine Ho Ping Kong and Peter Tan work and live here with their children, 4-year-old Abby and 3-year-old Ian. Step inside the front entrance into a large open space with an office area, dining area, kitchen, and living room. Huge wall-sized glass doors open into a courtyard with a studio on the other side. Upstairs is the kids' bedroom and the master bedroom. A translucent hallway leads to a bathroom that doubles as a sunroom. And glass doors open into a hidden courtyard.
Peter, Emmanuel, pleased to meet you.
Christine.
Nice to meet you.
Real pleasure meeting you. You know, I was doing the research on your house and I came across this photo. And I was thinking, how could someone possibly live in a place like this? And the transformation is incredible. Train tracks over there, light industry all around you, and you're in the end of an alley. Kind of an odd place to raise a young family, isn't it?
There's interesting pockets of land and properties all over the city, and the alleyways is something that yet to be, I think, discovered.
We had been wanting to build a modern house, and we had been looking at many different properties, and they were out of our price range. So we started to look at industrial sites near the railway, and see if there was any leftover pockets of land that could be potential homes for us.
Abby, do you want to show me your house? Yeah? You want to take me inside and show me? All right, lead me in. It's a great house. It's nice and open. Nice and high too, isn't it? Really high up there.
With ceiling fans and these upper windows to let heat out, there's no need for air conditioning, even in Toronto's hot and humid summers.
Love all the wood. And this desk, how long is this desk?
It's about 28 feet, and it's cantilevered off the wall with continuous drawers.
Custom made.
That's right.
Incredible. And this is nice too. This will be custom made. This is custom detail work. Beautiful detail work. Who did this?
I did all the woodwork, and the doors are made with about 3 years of offcuts of all the millwork done in this house, and we thought we'd put it to some inventive use afterwards.
Yeah, so you salvaged all that wood. Did you know that did you plan on using that wood for this?
Actually, no. It kind of presented an opportunity, and we thought we'd try it, and a bit of an experiment.
Yeah, it looks great. It's very custom. I like it. It's very light and airy feeling because you can see through it, yet it functions to hide books that you don't need to see all the time.
That's right.
This is your office space here, and this will be the rest of your home on this side. So this will be your dining room?
It's mainly a transition space. This is our dining table, but it's also our meeting table and our layout table. We really believe in a multifunctional space, multifunctional furniture.
Was it difficult for you to figure out ways to get light into the building?
The middle of the house is usually the darkest, and to have different strategies, different means of getting light in, such as clerestory windows or skylights or the glass blocks. It's amazing because from the outside you think we have no windows at all.
You've really used wood everywhere, haven't you? Even on your countertop. And you built this too?
That's correct.
Okay, you have a sink under here.
That's right. It is a dish rack. It is a countertop, changeable during whatever function we have in the house.
And where'd you get the sink? Because it's an unusual looking sink.
It's actually a reuse of commercial bar sink.
I love open concept spaces. Because of the borrowed space you have from each individual area, you can make a small space look very large. This furniture, is this reproduction or vintage?
It's vintage. It's Danish modern, and we like it because it's quite slender and you can see the floor.
And all the floors are concrete and radiantly heated.
Also, it's quite mobile.
It's light enough to carry into the courtyard, and we use our courtyard like a living room sometimes.
Why don't I go see the courtyard? This is great. I love these big doors. Reminds me of being in California. You see a lot of homes where they have these big doors that have the outdoor space, the indoor space just really blends. Aren't there issues with having these great big doors as far as water and snow filtering in?
First of all, we have a large overhang over the doors. And secondly, these are lift and slide doors. It seals really, really well.
And all the glass is low E, or low emissivity, so it has a special coating, and its double panes are filled with argon gas. That means it prevents heat loss in the winter and rooms getting too hot in the summer.
I think you have to understand that an outdoor space is a very luxurious thing. It doesn't matter the size of the outdoor space, but if you can connect with that, it enriches your life in a very valuable way.
Now it's up to the second floor.
And in this area, we normally take off our shoes to go upstairs.
Okay.
It's a transition area between a more public use of our space and to a much more private living.
Okay, so shoes off.
And under the stairs as well, there are drawers where we keep some of the shoes when
Oh,
we're not
no
using
way! Look at that. So you put drawers in your steps.
That's right.
What a great idea. How many do you have? How many are hidden here?
3.
3 of them.
We have a dead space under there. We don't have another stair going to the basement because there is no basement. So it's making use of very little space we have.
Yeah, very nice. And this is the adult rail and the kids rail?
That's right.
So I guess I'll take the adult rail upstairs.
Please.
And now, up to the bedroom level. First stop, the kids' room. Most of the Douglas fir on the walls was reclaimed from the existing building.
This is a nice space. It's very open.
Right now, it's their bedroom and upstairs playroom.
Looks like I can see into another room here. Is that your bedroom over there?
That's our bedroom. And it was conceived when Abby was a little bit smaller. And as a baby, if she cries, we just slide away the doors to have access to her without actually getting out of the room, walking around the corridor to her room.
And Peter is thinking ahead. When the kids get older, the partition will be closed off. He's even installed a track system so the kids' space can be divided into 2 bedrooms with sliding walls. The master bedroom is right next door, but it's not what you might expect.
This is kind of smaller than most North American master bedrooms.
It certainly is, and we like it that way. It's much more intimate.
You've got everything built in. Built-in cabinetry, once again, more things hidden into the walls, and more cabinetry up here. And then the bed itself is a built-in unit.
So it has drawers underneath.
Oh, I see.
And it goes all the way underneath.
Look at that. You just built everything right in.
There are more surprises next door.
Look at this. This is all your bathroom?
That's right.
It's also our sunroom and our laundry room.
Yeah, once again, multi-purpose room. This is the shower. Right here.
Shower room, yes.
The kids must just love this.
They have a lot of fun.
It's not the average home here. It's not the average homeowner here as well. You're both architects. This is what you do. You're passionate about. You have the creative mind to work these spaces this way. I can't picture a lot of people having a home like this. This is really special.
Certainly, we've taken advantage of the fact that it's our home. We wanted to experiment. And I think a lot of the experience most clients wouldn't go for, so we really had to try it all out here and prove it to ourselves first before we can ask somebody else to believe in it.
Like the idea of putting wood on the floor in a bathroom is foreign to a lot of people because, oh, your wood's gonna warp, you're gonna ruin your floors, it's never gonna last. What'd you put on your floor here?
This is E-Pay decking, and it's put over a sloped concrete floor that's been industrially epoxied over. It comes apart in 2 panels, and that's how we get it off.
There's also a warmth to the material, and also we have small kids, and with them running around in a bathroom, we're less worried about it than if it was a stone floor.
Right, the stone, they fall down, get hurt. Wood, you get a little bit of bounce. It's a bit soft, although E-Pay is a very hard wood at the end of the day. But E-Pay is great. It resists water and moisture very well, and it's got its own oil built in, so it lasts a long time. It's a nice product. And what do you have here on your ceiling?
It's cedar.
So I bet if you get it warm enough in here, do you smell the cedar when it gets really hot?
Oh yeah, when the room gets really wet and moist,
Yeah,
the aroma comes out.
a bit like a sauna, isn't it? It's very nice. And the rest of the stuff up here, was this just standard tile?
It's a porcelain tile on top, and it's buff slate on the lower part of the walls.
That is such a playful shower head.
The bathroom stretches along an upstairs courtyard. Sunlight passes through these glass walls and into the house through the glass panel shower.
As well, the light also passed down through this glass top here.
This is the skylight we see downstairs in the kitchen.
That's correct. We use cedar to create these plant trough that we are in essence trying to grow curtains.
Oh, I see. What kind of succulent are you growing there anyway?
They're called donkey tails.
Donkey tail.
They grow quite long and they're quite hardy, quite low maintenance.
Really neat space. So this is your second courtyard.
That's right.
This is great. Not quite as big as your other one.
No, but still very intimate.
And what do you guys do here most of the time in this space?
It's pretty much playtime for the kids while I'm hanging laundry.
Peter and Christine turned an unused space in the city into a sanctuary for both work and family life. And that's another way of looking at what it means to be green.
We do hope people go out there and see the city with a different eye and then realize there's so much potential in some of their leftover space in their neighborhoods.
Well, after seeing this house, I truly see there's potential all over the city. Keep the footprint small and the green technology big. That was behind everything that went into our next house. The family did not intend on building green, but they fell in love with the property, and its sheer beauty inspired them to tread softly on the land. We're in Margaretville, New York, in the Catskill Mountain Range, a 2.5-hour drive northwest of New York City. This wedge-shaped, ultra-modern chalet sits lightly on a gorgeous wooded lot. It may look large, but it's a compact 1,800 square foot home. Made of natural, renewable, and recycled materials, this home uses nature to its advantage. It's designed to capture natural light, and it uses geothermal to heat and cool.
This is really the first piece of land that we looked at. It's a 40-acre site. That's what we bought the property for, that view.
Meet Bill Abronowitz, freelance photographer, his wife Andrea, his son Simon, daughter Maxie, and their 3 dogs, Mary, Tyler, and more. Inside the front door, a mudroom leads to the main open concept living space, with a galley kitchen, a dining area, and a comfortable lounge. Just above the kitchen is a loft space for the kids to hang out with visiting friends. Back downstairs, at one end of the main living area, there are 2 bedrooms, one for adults and one for kids, plus a bathroom. Then, at the other end of the house, there's an identical set of bedrooms and a second bathroom.
Welcome to Margaretville.
I'm Bill.
I'm Andrea.
I'm Simon. I'm Maxie.
Come on in, we'll show you the house.
So this is our mudroom. Every family needs a mudroom, especially when the house is used for skiing and summer sports.
The wood is sustainably harvested and treated with a low volatile organic compound stain. That means this stain is odor-free and emits less of the gases that may have adverse health effects.
Come on in, we'll show you the rest.
This is our kitchen. It's basically a galley kitchen, but we manage to serve 18, 20 people every weekend very comfortably from here. Soapstone, and it just gets oiled with the mineral oil, and that gives it a nice sheen and brings out a green color in it. It's soft, it marks up a little bit, but I never mind that because it just gives it a more lived-in feeling.
They went for plain white appliances that are Energy Star rated. And most of the light bulbs are compact fluorescent.
The kitchen cabinets are from a manufacturer that has a pretty great environmental record, and there's no toxins in the production of them, and it's fairly inexpensive, kind of sleek. Throughout the main part of the house, the flooring is a bamboo. Bamboo is a grass. It regenerates in 3 years, so it's a sustainable product.
This is our dining room, which is the center of everything between the living room and the kitchen.
And it houses our collections. We collect things that we find on the property, fossils and skulls and bones and eggs.
Bill did go hunting for this unusual chandelier, but he only hunted online, buying it from an online auction.
It's the only incandescent bulb in the house, and they're only 7-watt bulbs, so...
Please don't tell anybody. This is the heart of the home.
It's a finished soapstone radiant fireplace, and it's the heating source for the house. We stoke up the fire when we come in with about 60 pounds of wood. It's 3 arm loads that burn for a couple of hours, so it's a very, very hot fire. The entire structure heats up and radiates throughout the house. And it's a remarkable unit in that it burns so hot that there's really no particulate released to the air. No creosote buildup in the fireplace flue.
The best thing about it, it's two-sided and can be enjoyed from the living room as well.
The rug is organic wool, natural dyes. Whenever we could, we tried to use organic materials or fabrics. There's ceiling fans at each end of the house, and the ceiling fans help circulate the air throughout the house, not only in the winter, but in the summer. It's a high ceiling, so we need to push the heat down in the winter and draw it up in the summertime.
We've just seen the main open concept living space. Now we'll see where they bed down for the night. In keeping with the small footprint theme of the house, Bill believes that bigger is not necessarily better.
The 4 bedrooms in the house are only 12 feet by 12 feet, but they have a ceiling that runs up about 12 feet high, so it doesn't feel congested at all. Here we used non-toxic stains on the wall. It's pine wall, pine ceiling. It has a slightly Scandinavian feeling to it. The furniture is recycled furniture, things that we found, things that we had from previous houses. The carpet is from a really cool company that takes commercial carpets out of commercial buildings and recycles them and produces these really beautifully designed tiles that when you're done with them, they'll come in and they'll take them back. So they keep regenerating. So this is Xander and Simon's room. This is the most ship-like room in the house. There are 2 of these rooms that are bunkhouses. There's as many as 8 people that'll sleep in this room. They sleep head-to-head, toe-to-toe. The bathroom, as you can see, is really pretty small. It's a very simple, well-designed, but all standard fixtures, low-flow toilet and all of that. The great thing in this room is electric radiant floor, which in the middle of the winter, when you get up in the middle of the night, it's really appreciated, or after a shower. It's very nice to have your feet warm. Let's go upstairs, I'll show you the loft. This is just a regular library ladder that we found in New York. Hey, Simon?
Hey, Dad.
So this is the sleeping loft. The kids usually use this when they have guests. This room feels a little Asian. Everything low on the ground, and all the tall people bang their heads on the ceiling as they come up the ladder.
Big windows can mean big energy loss, but not here. This translucent wall cladding acts as a thermal insulator and diffuses sunlight.
The beauty of it, as you can see, it's got a great quality of light, much like a shoji screen. This one happens to be filled with a gel, and the gel acts as an insulator without blocking any sort of light. So it has a high R factor in comparison to windows. R factor being their ability to either hold heat in or cast off heat from the outside. In the summer, you want it to sort of throw off heat. In the winter, you want it to hold heat in. And again, you can see the natural light in here is just wonderful. It's just wonderful. And we rarely ever have to turn a bulb on. Using natural light is a big aspect of sustainable architecture.
Now, it's downstairs to the laundry room, directly beneath the mudroom.
And this is a pretty cool little thing that a friend of ours told us about. We thought it was quite a waste to just take the heat from a dryer and pump it out of the house. So it's a $13 item that's most of the big box stores sell, and you fill it with a little bit of water, takes the hot air that contains the lint and pumps it into this little container, and the hot air is released. It's a surprisingly efficient unit and is a dirt cheap way to produce some heat in an area that's a little cool. The best dryer that we could have, that's the cheapest and most energy efficient thing you could do. This is my room. So you saw upstairs, Andrea's favorite place is the radiant wood stove. My favorite place is the geothermal heating system. It was the biggest investment we made in the house. You can see that there are 2 lines that come out of the wall. They go down about 750 feet, and it's basically just a big long U. Water gets pumped down and back up, pumped down and back up. And the water is held at a constant temperature that's provided by the earth, which is constant. I believe it's about 55 degrees. So it takes the water that comes up out of the earth, it compresses it, which produces a little more heat. And like an air conditioner, cold on one side, hot on the other. In the winter, we use the hot air, and in the summer, if you needed to, you could use the cold air. When we put it in, it was a big leak. It was the biggest leap we made. I had heard a lot about it. I had been reading a lot about it. The contractor had never dealt with it. He was terrified. He wanted to put in a high-efficiency oil burner in. The architect was definitely on board, but everybody was a little nervous about it. We estimated it would take about 10 years to pay off the difference. We still wanted to do it. We thought it was the right thing to do. And since fuel oil has skyrocketed since then, we've probably cut that the recovery time down probably to about 4 or 5 years, which is a pretty substantial thing. And we're near about breaking even on this, and now it costs us nothing to run this house, or very little to run this house in the winter. Here's the easiest tip you can do. In our fuse box or circuit breakers, we've put red tabs on all of the things we turn off when we're not here. The hot water heater, blowers, microwaves, stoves, the well, anything that really doesn't need to run at all when we're here, we turn off, and we put red stickers on them because it's easier to explain to guests when they're leaving to do that. So, I mean, vampire electricity, which is what this is called, things that draw even when they appear to be off. Anything with a red light in your house, the VCR, the DVD, your stove, is going to draw about 5 to 10% of your monthly electric. So if you can turn it off when you're not using it, unplugging, you'll wind up cutting your electric bill substantially by just doing that. So this is pretty simple. That's a really simple thing to cut your bill and save energy.
This is a full-fledged room for us in the summer where we eat every meal and we end up being out here until the stars come out.
The decking is made of recycled plastic. The banisters and railings are made of sustainably harvested cedar.
My kids and I built this table from wood that we found on the property, and at first we were going to bring the logs up whole, and we couldn't figure out how to get them up here because it's a few hundred pounds of wood. So Andrea had an idea to cut them in half and then reverse them. So she came up with the design, and any of the trees that were felled, and there weren't many, we were pretty careful about it. We try to use either for heating the house or for furniture.
Building with maximum efficiency, yet minimal impact on the land, takes vision and creativity. And it seems to be paying off for Bill and Andrea.
When we started planning the house almost 6 or 7 years ago, we really didn't know that much about it. You know, as it turned out, we learned a lot of things. We made some mistakes. There were things that I would do differently that we might change, but now that fuel costs have gotten to the point where they're at, we've made some pretty wise decisions.